Hello, everyone. A very good morning to all of you. And we welcome you to the first class of strategic management, which is paper 6B. My name is C. Arjit Sethi, and I'll be your host, friend, guide, and everybody you can reach out to for any queries and everything for strategic management. We're going to learn this subject from scratch, right? We're going to learn a lot of new concepts, a lot of very interesting examples of what is happening in the world of strategy, in the world of business. And that's going to be our focus. You're going to learn a lot of new things, which you might know, which might you not know. And we will also have a lot of examples, a lot of stories. So you got to hang around with me while we learn this very, very interesting syllabus and very well crafted topics for you, not from an exam perspective, not just from an exam perspective, but also when you become a professional, a chartered accountant, working in an industry, working in your practice, joining big MNCs, starting your own MNCs. So it's going to come handy. All of these is going to come handy as you grow in your career. So this is why I think this subject is one of the most interesting one, and I'm very happy to be part of this with you while we go through this journey of strategic management, right? I see you, Soumya, on the chat, while I see a few people on the Zoom as well. A very good morning to all of you again. Very happy to see you joining 7 a.m. on a Sunday morning. Most of us like to sleep, but good to see you guys here. It shows that you are excited for it, shows you have the passion for the examination, it shows you have the passion for the subject, and I think that's great. Okay. Hi Ritu, a very good morning to you. I see in the chat as well. So with that, let me just set in a context or some rules of how the classes will be or how these sessions will be, right? I will be talking for the next 2 hours with you. While I have your queries on the chat, you can bombard me with your queries on only on the chat for the next 2 hours. Ask as many questions as you can, but on the chat till 9 a.m. Last 30 minutes of the class, we will keep where you can ask your queries directly with me over Zoom, right? So that it doesn't create disturbance for others or for us while we are teaching a particular concept. So for the next 2 hours, we will be here. I'll take all your queries on the chat. Last 30 minutes, we open up Zoom for you to do a one-on-one query. And we have a very esteemed faculties on the call as well from Board of Studies. So any query you have regarding that, they'll be happy to help you as well. So be assured, all your questions, all your queries, all your doubts are going to be solved in these classes. And that's the motive. Okay. If I'm very clear, give me a thumbs up, please, on the chat. Wherever you have joined in on the BOS app or on Zoom, just give me a big thumbs up so that I know we can go ahead, right? I want these classes to be really interesting and interactive. I don't want to be somebody who keeps speaking. I want all of you to share your thoughts on the chat, right? Give me examples, answer whatever the questions I have. Do that. Okay. I see a few people joining in as well. Awesome. Thanks, Ritu, for a thumbs up. Only Ritu has a thumb to give a thumbs up. I would really request all of you to give a thumbs up or any emoji you want on the chat. It tells me that we are ready to get into the session, excited to learn something new today, right? Arti, I see that. Chanchal, I see a thumbs up. Thank you so much. Hello, Priyanka. Good to see you as well. Awesome. Let's start with our first chapter, which is Introduction to Strategic Management. As we say, for every subject, you start with an introduction, right? But before I start with an introduction, let me take you through this entire syllabus in the next 2 minutes. Very quickly, let's understand strategic management, what is ahead of us from the next few sessions while we go through this very interesting syllabus, okay? We start our session with Introduction to Strategic Management. We learn about what is strategy, what is management, organizational structure, what are the different relationships between the organizational structures, who makes a strategy, who works on a strategy. We will learn all of that. Very interesting, very new, and I will give you so many examples from what's happening around the world. You'll be really taken aback that, wow, this is something which is very new. And I will give you so many examples from what's happening around the world. You'll be really taken aback that, wow, this is something which is very new. And I will give you so many examples from what's happening around the world. You'll be really taken aback that, we never could realize that strategy was everywhere. It's legit everywhere. Okay. The second chapter, we will talk about external environment. We'll talk about everything beyond the control of the business or the organization, and how can businesses tackle that, right? We will learn about how can businesses tackle the government is changing, there's a war, there are price increases, the oil price is going up, this is going down, competitor reacts this way, that person reacts that way. So all the external environment we'll learn about. Then we will third chapter, we'll talk about internal environment. If you would have learned, first you see what's wrong outside, and then you figure out maybe things were not wrong outside, maybe things were wrong inside, right? Maybe we were doing something wrong. How do you analyze that as a business? How do you introspect as a business? We learn in chapter number 3, which is internal environment. Some tools we use, some of the matrices we use, very well structured tools and strategies we use to analyze ourselves and create a very successful strategy. That is what we are going to learn at chapter number 3. Chapter number 4 would talk about strategic choices. First, you know what is strategy. You learned about an organization, who does what. Then you analyze the external environment. Further, you go and analyze yourself as an internal environment. When I say yourself, it means your own organization. Number 4, once you have done this, once your diagnosis is done, once you have understood what's happening, what's happened, you start building a strategy. Chapter number 4 tells you how do you build a strategy? What are the different ways you can build a strategy for your business, right? Strategic choices. You go and do a new business, you introduce a new product, you work on the existing product, you bring a new person into the organization, you make people exit the organization. How do you strategize a thing that you have thought is good for the business? Chapter number 4 will talk about that. And lastly, we will talk about chapter number 5, which is implementation and evaluation. Dreams only come true when you put them into action, right? I can think I'll be a rank holder in chartered accountancy and I keep sleeping. Will never work. So you might have a strategy, you might have a dream, might have a vision, but only when you implement it, only when you put actions around it, that is where the real results start happening. And that's chapter number 5 for us. Strategy, implementation, and evaluation. Whether that strategy we are working on, we are executing, is that working or is it not working? If it is working, we go double force into it. If it's not working, let's scrap the strategy, start from the beginning, right? So this entire flow of strategic management is for you to understand from starting what is strategy, what is management, and taking you through the journey of analyzing outside, internal, building a strategy, implementing a strategy, and evaluating if it's working or not. Understood? All good? Right? With that, let's get into our chapter number 1 today, which is Introduction to Strategic Management. Okay. Feel free to ask any questions on the chat till 9 a.m. I'll be happy to answer. Do not shy away. It's your class. It's for you from the ICAI, right? The institute we all bow down to. So please feel free to ask as many questions as you can on the chat. Do not shy away. No question is a bad question. Don't feel that this is a silly question, I should not ask, but ask any question you want. Okay, I'll be happy to answer. But make sure you don't ask questions which disturb the class, right? Or disturb the flow of the class. Ask questions which are relevant to what we are studying. Okay, so chapter number 1, Introduction to Strategic Management. How do we introduce this concept? Number 1, the meaning and nature. We will understand what is strategic management, the meaning of the word, the meaning of this heavy word on which the syllabus is created. Then we break this down into 2 parts, strategy and management. Strategic management, which is strategy and management, okay? And then we go into strategic intent. Why does a business want to do what they want to do? And finally, we understand strategic levels in the organization, okay? It's not too rocket science. It's not tough. We'll understand this, break down every single word for you, okay? But let me just put in a story for you. Let me share a story with you, and then let's see how we can probably understand these concepts more in depth, okay? Now listen to this story for the next 2 minutes. There was a guy, okay, there was this man sitting in Jaipur. There was this man sitting in Jaipur, had a small shop of women clothes, right? Very designer dupattas and lehengas and all that artificial jewelry, everything related to women attire, ethnic women attire. He had a very small shop in the city of Jaipur. Okay. Now, this person thought, if I stay within Jaipur, and there's a good amount of tourists who come to Jaipur, it's not a bad business, it's a good business. But how do I expand this to the states of Delhi? How do I expand this to the state of Uttar Pradesh? How do I take my clothes, my art, my designs to the state of Bihar? How do I do that? Right? And this man was thinking, what do I do? What do I do? And then he figured out, oh, okay. So maybe there is a business fair happening in the state of Uttar Pradesh by the government of India, and let me go and participate, right? That person took 10 best samples, took a big bag, booked ticket in the train, and went to Uttar Pradesh for that fair, right? When he reached that fair, people really liked his design. They were just like, this is so fresh, this is so new, this is so colorful. We want to place orders with you. He came back from that fair with almost 100 orders for customers across India because people from India were in that fair. Now, this is where the business started. This is where the idea of going pan India, going to cover the entire country started. This person thought that maybe if I am so good, let me expand my manufacturing. So that person did what? That person started manufacturing more. Like they hired 10 more people, bought a warehouse, started manufacturing more clothes, right? Slowly, steadily bought another shop in Jaipur, then bought a shop in Uttar Pradesh, bought a shop in Mumbai, then went on to buy a shop in Pune, started expanding in the country, right? Then he hired somebody who was good at designing. He hired people from the National Institute of Fashion, let's say, and they started designing more for them. He hired legal people, he hired chartered accountants, he hired MBAs who could run businesses. As years passed by, within 10 years, the business was so big that they were making 200 crores of revenue every year just from sales in India. After 10 years, this person said, maybe I'm doing good in India. How about if I go to the Middle East? How about if I go to there's a huge Indian community in the United States. Let me take my business to the United States, right? Now, this person started building manufacturing more into India and then exporting that stuff to the United States. 5 years went by, the business from 200 crores touched 800 crores, right? Now, let me take a pause in this story and let me ask you a question. What is this person doing? If you can explain me in a line, in a word, what is this person who is building this business doing? What is this person doing around businesses? What are his thoughts? What do you think? I'll take a pause of 2 minutes and let you answer on chat. Wherever you are on the chat, I am reading all the chats. Tell me, what do you think? What is this person doing with the business? What is he doing? Take your time, think about it, and then answer on the chat. Okay, Preeti says strategic management. Good. Okay, Preeti. Break it down more for me. That's a very formal answer. Strategic management. What actually is this person trying to do with the business? Kiran says expansion. Okay, Yash says values, longevity of the business. Great. Priyanka says understanding the market where he can grow. Absolutely. What else? Diversification. Only Krishnan says diversification. Okay. Avni says strategic analysis. What else is this person doing? All answers are absolutely right. Expanding. Tejas says expanding. Shivana says utilizing opportunities. Absolutely. Think about it. He first had a vision and started working on it. That's what Tamanna says. Good. Think more. I want more answers. Think harder. What? All these answers are right. I'm not saying these. Think more. What is this person doing? Strategic evaluation. I'll take another one or two answers and then I'll share what I think, what this person was doing. Cool. Strategic evaluation. Now, all of these answers are right. Now, what you got to do is put a structure to your thinking. Okay. All the points that you said are absolutely on point. Now, let's put a structure to this story. What is this person doing? An existing business, right? I'll take up all your answers and all your answers are right. We just got to put a structure around this. This person saw an opportunity, did a market analysis, did a strategic analysis, and started diversifying and expanding into newer markets, and then went global. He understood the market, he understood the customer, he understood what's selling, he understood his product, he was confident on his product, and then he expanded the business. SWOT analysis, pestle analysis, all of this is inbuilt into this story. Understanding people's interest, understanding the customer, understanding your own players, your manufacturing, expanding your own manufacturing, right? That's exactly what we're going to study in strategic management. It's not rocket science, that is what I was telling you. But let us now put a structure to all our thoughts. Keep this thought in your mind. Somebody building a business is doing what? From as big businesses as one of Elon Musk building a SpaceX or a Twitter called X now, or somebody building a Facebook, to somebody like Tata's building multiple businesses, Reliance doing three pre-weddings and still doing such big with a business, right? What are these people doing? Or somebody as small as having a shop in a small area to somebody just selling ice creams on a stand. Every single person doing business is doing strategic management at their own level. But we are going to focus on organizations which have a structure. Okay. So please do not get confused that is an ice cream wala or is somebody selling a chart counter, has a chart counter in a market. Aren't they doing strategic management? They are. But our syllabus is more focused on a structured organization. Okay. Super. Let's go to the next one where we start with understanding strategic management. What is the meaning of strategic management, right? The meaning of strategic management is simply put, it is used as a reference, right? What a management, who a strategy. Now, look at this. Look at this. When we say management, what is management? Management has two things. Whenever somebody says, I'm part of the management, what does it mean? It means I'm part of a set of group of people who make decisions, who take decisions for the organization. Okay. Now, but the second thing is when I say I am doing management, I'm part of the management and I'm doing management. They're two things. Now, I'm doing management means I am influencing a process to make things happen. My job is to make things happen, right? To gain command, to give directions. That is my job, right? To induce and direct events and people in a particular manner. This person does this, do that for the success of the organization. That is called management. You're doing management. There's an event, somebody's all over the place. The lights are working, the sound is working, the stage is working, people are not feeling hot, there's enough water, there's enough food. Somebody's managing that, right? Influencing a process to make things happen. That's called management. But who are the people who are taking those decisions are also called management, right? The management is key group of people in the organization in charge of its affairs. The functions include something we have studied in business studies in class 11th and 12th: planning, organizing, directing, staffing, and controlling. These people plan, they organize, they direct, give commands, they staff, hire, and fire people. And they take control of situation. They take control of what is going right, what is going wrong, and they make things happen in the organization. Okay, that is management. First, set up group of people. Second, a process of influencing people, processes, resources to make things happen is also called management. Okay. Now, what is strategy? What is strategy? Now, read the box first and then we go up. Strategy is a consciously considered and flexibly designed. Always remember the word flexible for strategy. It cannot be rigid because things are always changing. Nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow or the next hour. So your strategy, your plans have to be flexible. Okay. So strategy is consciously considered and flexibly designed scheme of intent and actions to mobilize resources, that is money, people, power, time, all of these are resources to direct human effort and behavior to handle events and problems. Both will come for the business to perceive and utilize opportunities. Always there, you've got to figure out which opportunity makes sense and to meet challenges and threats for corporate survival and success. Okay. Simply put, strategy means a conscious plan of action, a skeleton of thoughts that this is what we're going to do. If this doesn't happen, this is our backup plan. If this happens, this is our next step plan, right? That is called strategy. My plan is I will study 10 hours a day. My friends called me for a game of football. I spent 3 hours there. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go and not sleep for the next 2 hours and I'm going to complete my syllabus. That's my strategy. It's flexible, right? Utilizing my resources, which is time, effectively to make things happen. With events and things happening around me being flexible to change my action, change my strategy. That is what it means. Okay. Now let's put a little bit masala into the definition as well. We may define strategy as a long range blueprint of an organization, right? Which focuses on the image of the organization, the direction, and the destination, where it wants to be. Where does the organization want to be? That matters the most. Where does the organization want to be? Okay. That is where the strategy is focused on. पहुंचना कहाँ है? Where do you want to be as a business? And that is where the strategy works on. Two very famous people in the world of strategic management, Mr. Ansoff, Iger N. Ansoff and William F. Gluck. These two guys have given interesting definitions to strategy. What they say is the common thread among the organization's activities and product, right? That defines the essential nature of business, right? That the organization has a plan for the future. That's what they call as the strategy, a common thread which binds everyone together in the organization. Well, William says a unified, that is one. Unified means one single, comprehensive, in-depth and integrated, well-twined. HR knows what finance is doing. Finance knows what manufacturing is doing. Manufacturing knows what planning is doing. Planning knows what CFO is doing. CFO knows what CEO is doing, right? It's an integrated plan designed to achieve basic objectives of the enterprise and ensure they are achieved. Okay, simple definitions. I hope that's clear. Okay. Again, because I can't see you guys, I would request if you can give me an okay, a thumbs up, whatever in the chat you are, so that I know things are clear and I am not going too fast. Okay. Let me know for anything. Awesome. Thanks, Yash. Thanks, Abni, for giving a yes and an okay. Thanks, Preeti. Happy that it's clear. Sweetie's morning is right now. Hello, Sweetie. You're saying good morning at 7:30. We have already studied for 30 minutes. Super. Kiran, thanks for the clear. Preeti, thanks for the 3 thumbs up. Awesome. Thanks to Sayanto. Super. Thanks, Tejas. Tamanna says clear. Unnikrishnan says clear. Revati says yes. Awesome. Let's go ahead to the next topic, which is the concept of strategy in organizations, right? Where are these strategies formulated? This is a question to you. Let me ask this question to you. Who do you think, who do you think in an organization makes a strategy? Chat is open to you. Who do you think in an organization builds a strategy? Avni says management. Absolutely. Nice. Who builds a strategy? Top management, upper level management, top management, top management, top management, top management, upper level management. Very nice. CEO, CFO, directors, management makes a strategy, senior management, corporate level management, top level management. Great. Then who decides who will do what? If top level management makes a decision, a strategy, then which level decides which team will do what? Who divides the work amongst the organization? If top level management is building a strategy, then which level of management is deciding that which person will do what, how much money do we want for this? Who does that budgeting of resources to make that strategy successful? Who does that? Middle management, okay? Preeti says middle management, Manish says middle, Avni says middle, Ritu says middle, Priyanka says managers, Pratima says middle. Okay, Revati says middle management, admin, HR, Tana says division levels or middle level management. Great business level, Kiran. Cool. And if middle level management is deciding who does what, which level is actually doing the work? Which level is actually doing the work in the organization? Avni says lower level. We don't call them lower level. They have their very own cool name. You don't call them lower level. You call them functional level. That's right. The functional level of an organization are the people who actually work or execute the strategy, right? Right. So most of you would have seen when you become a chartered accountant, you start from the functional level. Don't say I'm starting from the lower level. Why do you call yourself as a lower level? It's not a low level. It's a functional level. It's a very important level in the organization. So we don't call them low level. Practically, they're at the low level if you look at the levels, but let's call them functional levels, operational level or the functional level, right? Awesome. You guys are really smart. Why are you guys in this class? You know all the answers already. Okay, cool. Let me break it down to you as well. So when you join a corporate, when you join an MNC or any company for that matter, you start from the functional level. People who are actually executing, working on Excels, on presentations, on data, on Power BI, on Tableau, all these financial tools that you as chartered accountants are going to study for, right? Now, these people are actually executing. They're not part of the decision making. They're not part of people taking decisions for the organization, but they're executing decisions. The second level, once you progress 5, 7, 8, 10 years into your organization, into your career, what you start doing is you start becoming a manager who manages things, who makes sure right people are doing the right job, right amount of money is being spent for the right work. This is your job. That's middle level. The top level after 15, 17, 20 years, when you reach a level in the organization, which is the top level, you start taking decisions for the organization. That, for example, I should go and expand into this market, or maybe this product is not working. Let us stop selling this product or making this product. Those kind of decisions are taken at the top level. So top level is where decision making happens. Middle level is where more resource allocation and management of people and resources happens. And bottom, like you said, low, but they are functional level people who really put action to those dreams and big strategies that upper level people are making. Okay, very simple. Execution level, very nice. Now strategy, as we said, this is one of the most asked questions in the examination, right? Remember this, and you probably should, or you should probably refer to this particular thing that we're going to study in most of your answers. You will see a blend of this in most of your answers. Okay, strategy is partly proactive and partly reactive. Strategy is partly proactive and partly reactive. It means what? What does it mean? You tell me. I'll anyway explain it to you. But what do you think? Strategy is partly proactive and strategy is partly reactive. What does this mean? Why partly? Why can't strategy be completely proactive? Why can't we just go and do what we want to do? Or why can't it be completely reactive? That whatever happens, we adjust ourselves and then take decisions, right? Why can't it be completely proactive or completely reactive? Why is it partly proactive and partly reactive? Why? That's my question to you. Think about it for 2 minutes and share your thoughts in the chat. This classroom is not about me teaching, it's about we together discussing concepts so that we all learn together. That's how I take classes. Okay. Think of this as a group, all of us sitting and discussing and learning new things. It's not me teaching, it's we learning. Okay. Okay. So I have some interesting answers. Let's see. Planning in advance. Okay. Pratima says due to business environment. So okay, Pratima, if it's business environment, let me just be completely reactive, right? If everything I have to do basis business environment, things are changing, then I will always react. Why do I have to be proactive that go ahead and do things myself? When things will happen, I'll do it. If it's based on business environment, why to be proactive at all? We can't predict the company's future always correctly. There can be unforeseen circumstances. Right, Avni? Then let's all be reactive only. Why do you want to be proactive? Preeti says proactive means forecast future and reaction means according to the market. Very nice answer, Preeti. We'll hold on to that and then I'll take up once we have more answers. But good answer. Reacting to changing environment. Absolutely, Kiran. But then why proactive? Every time we cannot forecast future, right? And sometimes we have to react according to the situation. True, but you just said you got to be proactive as well. Proactive means the first step taker and then seeing the results after companies follow it reactively. Harshit, you're reaching the right place in your thoughts. Okay. Okay. Now, Soumya says, thanks, Soumya. I'm happy the class is interesting for you. That gives me confidence we are going on the right track. Tejas says the business environment is dynamic. Great. Plan for starting be perfect, but if not, then change should prefer called reactive. Okay. Market response influences, therefore partly reactive. Strategy is a blend of both aspects because action, reaction law. Okay, Sweetie is a physics student seems, right? Action, reaction, but that's a good answer, Sweetie. It's a combination of planned and adapting to change, improve the financial market position. Proactive, it shows innovation, helps to build market before competitors reach out. Proactive is growing by themselves. Reactive is competitor push to change. If we aren't proactive, we can lose the market due to a competitor and changing environment. Very nice. Strategy has to be in tune with the changing business needs. One has to be reactive to respond accordingly. Very nice. It cannot be completely proactive because an organization cannot predict its complex environment completely also. And so reactive also cannot be because otherwise then the organization may suffer from costly losses. You guys have already answered the question, right? That's what I said. This class is all about discussion. This class is not me teaching, right? It seems like all are sitting with the modules. I know the kind of language you guys are using. If you use this language in examination, 100 on 100, boss, 100 on 100. But sadly, it's not an open book test, so you can't just copy. So, but it's good that you guys are reading modules. Okay. Now, let me also give my perspective. All of the answers were absolutely right and on point. Let me just add my perspective to it as well. Okay. Think of a business who is not proactive. Think of a business which doesn't take any initiative. Think of a friend in your group. You guys are go wanting to go to Himachal as a group, 4, 5 people, 7, 8, 10 people group. You want to go to Himachal, enjoy hills. One of the friends says, if it rains, what will happen? Let's not go. Let's go in this month. Let's go in that month. I don't know if we should go. What's the budget? Whether hotels be available? Is it a nice time? You're like, why are you being so reactive in this strategy? If it'll rain, we will see how we manage that, right? And there will be some friends who will push you, who will push the plan forward. They will like, let's all go. We'll see what happens. We'll have fun. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's go book this hotel. Let's go to this place. They will create an entire itinerary. They say we'll go to this place at this time. Watch this. Do this. Now, it's a blend of those people in your group that creates a plan, that creates a successful plan to Goa or Himachal or Rajasthan, wherever you want to go as a group. Okay. Now, similar things happen when you are building a strategy. You need to be proactive, like somebody said, to innovate, like somebody said, to beat competition, like somebody said, to be ahead of the competition, to be ahead of the environment. You got to lead with your brains. You cannot just wait to react, because most likely or not, things will not be in your favor when you react. Nobody's going to come and give you a thali of 100 crore rupees business opportunity. Please take this business. No, you got to be proactive when you're building a business. You got to be proactive when you're building an organization. You cannot just sit and think, if this happens, then I will do that. No. Okay. So partly proactive and partly reactive, because you got to take action. You got to take initiative. You got to innovate. You got to beat competition. You got to be new. You got to be fresh into the market. Unless you are new and fresh, nobody is interested, right? Nobody is interested. You go to Zara, you go to H&M, you go to H&M, Zara kind of shops. You figure out, most of the girls will relate to this. You go and see a very nice top in Zara or H&M in a mall or in a very branded shop. You go and feel that this is fantastic, but oh, this is like 3,000, 4,000 rupees. Maybe let me just save my money or wait for my birthday and then I will buy it. The next time you come, the fashion has changed. There are no clothes that were there last month. The entire shop stock has changed. Why? Why are these businesses doing it? Because they are proactive. They are setting the tone for the market. They're not waiting for people to, they're not waiting for a Preeti or a Avni or a Sweetie to come and tell them that I want a black top like this design. Like, no, we are proactive. We are telling you what fashion is. These brands are telling the customer what the fashion is, right? They're not waiting for the customers to tell them what they want. They're telling customer, watch, this is fashion, wear this. So this is how smart businesses work. They're proactive in building a strategy. They're proactive in doing things which set a market for themselves, right? That's proactive. So partly proactive and partly reactive. Now, you come to an example of Zara itself. They are proactive in setting a fashion for the customer, but they are reactive as well. Why? If they see that this month most of our clothes were red color, they set tone of the store as red. Most of the clothes were red in color, and they saw that month the sales dipped. The sales did not do as well. They figured out maybe people in India do not like wearing a lot of red color, right? That's reactive. Proactive is they go ahead and experiment colors on in fashion with the customers. They do black color one month, they do yellow color one month, they do beige, baby pink, bottle green. Every month they have a tone. If you go to these stores, they have a color tone, right? And then they change every month. They're being proactive, and then they figure out what colors, what styles are people buying more, and they start repeating that. Unless you experiment, you don't know what the customer, what the market wants. So partly proactive, partly reactive. Okay. Now let's come back to the bookish language. Strategy is partly proactive and partly reactive. A company's strategy is typically a blend, it's a mix of proactive actions that the top management or the managers take to improve company's market position and financial performance. Reaction is reaction is that to reaction to unanticipated developments of fresh market conditions, things are changing, people are not liking it, the government changed, GST rate changed, what will you do, right? How do you manage that? That's how you react to the market as well. Okay. So proactive strategy is planned strategy, whereas reactive strategy is adaptive. Proactive, planned, reactive is adaptive strategy in changing environment. Very simple. Okay. Question for you on the screen. Is this a strategy? Is this a strategy? Right? You would see this in study material as well, but let's discuss that because once you do study material, you're reading yourself, but here we have a chance to discuss as well. A ketchup brand making a healthier ketchup, right? With less sugar and less preservatives to attract more customers by letting parents feel safe about the fact that what the kids are eating is a healthy option of ketchup. Can this be called a strategy? The answer is on screen. Let me put that as well. The answer is yes. This is a strategy. This is a strategy because it is a plan, a structured long term blueprint. Remember what we were studying about strategy? It is a long term blueprint. It's a structured plan to fight competition and to adapt the changing customer requirement. It's a strategy to react to changing environment and being proactive by telling people that, oh, this is healthier now, but reacting to the fact that people want healthier options for the kids. So they are reacting partly, they are being partly proactive. Reacting to the change in customer preference, proactive in being in marketing it as a healthier option. They are partly proactive, partly reactive as well. Okay, very nice. Strategic management, the importance and limitations. Do we really need strategic management? It's an old concept, right? What is something new that is happening in the world of strategic management? Do we really need it? Is it really that important? Or it has a lot of limitations in the changing environment, the way startups are coming, the way businesses are doing. Is it still relevant? Is my question to you. What do you think? Do you think strategic management is still relevant? Like this is like 1950s and 60s. This started somewhere in Harvard University hundreds of years back, and then it started evolving and new concepts came in, right? But today, with such dynamic tech-based companies, product-based companies like you would see the likes of Zomato in India or Blinkit, then Ola or Blue Smart Cabs or Oyo, all of these big brands, Boat and XYZ, Shadi.com, Matrimony.com, Bumble, Tinder, all of these uh, brands coming. Do you think it is still relevant, or is it time we scrap strategic management and bring something new? What do you think? As long as the business is there, strategy is relevant. That's a very strong statement. Good. Yes, it is still relevant. Yes, because strategy is the first step for any idea. Yes, it is. Strategic management helps you to be in the business. Yes, because relevant as the environment is highly dynamic and the management needs to cater to that. Okay, understood. So basically, the conclusion that all of us are reaching in this classroom is that strategic management is still relevant. We still need it. It has a lot of importance, but it also has its own limitations as well, right? It has a lot of importance for the business, but everything comes with the pluses and minuses. So let's understand that. But before that, The overall objective, let's conclude what we had studied so far. The overall objective of strategic management is twofold. That means strategic management is trying to achieve two broad things. Itna sara tamjham, we have so much to do in strategic management. Do this, do that, think about it, external, internal, myself, yourself, customer, money, resources, time, blah, 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 blah. So much to study, so much to take care of. But what are the two main things we want to achieve with strategic management? Number one, to create competitive advantage. I want to be better than my competition. I want to do better than my competition. I am the best in the market. Nobody can touch me. That's the kind of positioning you want to have in the market to be successful. That's what strategic management strives to do. Number two, to guide the company successfully through changes in the environment, right? And to take decisions in the right manner, which is beneficial for the organization. Two broad things that strategic management does is one, to create a competitive advantage, being unique and being valued by the customer. Customer wants your brand and does not look at any other brand. That is called creating competitive advantage, right? I'll give you an example. I don't know if when you were in school or when you were kids, like let's go back 10 years, you guys were also kids. I was still a teenager then, but still, McDonald's softie. All of us have eaten McDonald's, that ice cream cone, right? Most of us have. All of us would have some time in our life. Now that's competitive advantage. You go to a mall, you go to McDonald's, they have a separate counter of ice cream cone. We call it soft swirl, right? That's a competitive advantage. It's giving a unique pricing, a unique satisfaction to the customer. You do not want to go and buy an ice cream from somebody else. The moment you see a softie counter, an ice cream softie counter, McDonald's, you want to go and buy that, right? All other options do not even come to your thought. You're like, yeah, this is a good ice cream. It's cheap. It was back then 7, 8, 11 rupees. Now I think it's 25, 30 rupees, but you still want to go and buy that. You're like, I like this ice cream. It's a soft, normal, easy to eat ice cream, and you go and do that. That's called competitive advantage. Creating a uniqueness around your product so that customer feels, I want to buy this, and all other options get mute. Okay, that's competitive advantage. Number two, you react to the change in things. That's what strategic management does. Okay, very nice. Importance of strategic management. So far, so good. Give me a thumbs up, please, so that I know we are going in the right direction. It's interesting. You need more examples. You want more business oriented examples and stories. Let me know. I have many to share. Okay. I can share 10,000 examples for every concept. Thanks, Priyanka. Thanks, Preeti, for those thumbs ups. Cool. Tamanna, Swati, Tejas, Sweetie, thanks for the thumbs up. Joel Lovely says thumbs as well. Cool. Let's go to the next one, which is importance of strategic management. Okay. Importance of strategic management. Why is it so important? We all agreed it is important, but what does it do for the organization that we want to do it? Let me just zoom in a little for you guys here. Okay. Let me just zoom in a little, and then you can see this as well. Okay. Perfect. Let me know once it's zoom and you can see. Okay. Now, importance of strategic management defines goals and mission. Strategic management helps to define goals and mission. Okay. What are my goals? What is my mission? We'll study about this. What are these? Helps the organization to develop certain core competencies and competitive advantage, right? What is your what are you good at? That's your core competency. I'm really good at singing. I'm really good at badminton. I'm really good at particular thing. That's your core competency. Audit is my core competency. Tax is my core competency. You're very confident in that subject. That's called core competency. And competitive advantage, we just studied something that is unique in relation to the competitor and customers value that. It's your competitive advantage. Strategic management helps bring that into the organization. Number three, helps the organization to be proactive instead of reactive in shaping its future, right? Take initiatives, innovate, do new things, try new things, build a solid foundation for your business. Just don't sit and relax and let things happen. Be proactive. Strategic management pushes the business to be proactive. Take that risk, do that innovation, make that new product. Dekha jayega, right? Take that risk in the business. That's what strategic management does. Number four, provides a framework for all major decisions of the enterprise because it is structured. Strategic management is structured: external analysis, internal analysis, strategic choices, implementation, and evaluation. There's a process to strategic management. And once you have a process, your decision making is absolutely easy. And interestingly, I was thinking someday that most of us are taking our life decisions without any structure. Without any structure, we take our life decisions. Very basic, like which where to go and study, right? Let's say after 5 years, after 3 years, you want to go to a foreign university and study. You would do a lot of planning. But for your other life decisions, which can be anything, we don't do a structured planning. Why? Because we just don't do it. But that is what brings a lot of meaning into the decision, right? Once you're taking a decision, think about your external environment, your resources, your internal self, your own personality, and then you take a decision, and that becomes more meaningful. That's what strategic management does as well. It provides a framework for decisions of an enterprise because it is structured, prepares the organization to face the future. When you have structure, when you have plans, plan A, plan B, what to do if this not, then what? If you know that as a business, you're prepared for the future. You're not scared of the future. Serves as a corporate defense mechanism against mistakes and pitfalls, right? Because it is reactive. You will never fall. Strategic management is partly reactive, which means you will never fail. How good is that? Your strategy might fail, but because you're reactive, you can, or you're flexible, like we studied in the very first definition, flexibility of decision making, which means you can never fail. If you're flexible, you will never fail in life as well, right? If you're flexible. So if I don't get a job in Delhi, no problem. I move to Mumbai. I don't get a job in Mumbai, no problem. I move to Hyderabad. I don't get a job in Hyderabad, no problem. I move to Kolkata. I don't get a job in Kolkata, I'll move to some other country maybe, right? The moment you are flexible, you're never a failure. And that's what strategic management brings for the organization as well, right? Serves as a corporate defense mechanism against mistakes and pitfalls. If something is not happening, no problem. We are flexible. We'll change the strategy. As simple as that. It doesn't let the business fall. It doesn't let the business fail. And last is enhance the longevity of the business. That means it looks at the long term horizon of the business. It doesn't say, chalo, aaj let's make 2 crore rupees as profit and tomorrow let's close the business. Like, no, the business has to be built for the next 10, 20 years. That's the kind of mindset it brings in decision making, and that's strategic management, right? Strategic management is vital for organizations to achieve long term goals. It aligns your resources, money, people, power, land, resources. We used to study all of that to meet your objectives, adapt to the strategies, changing environment. And effective strategic management enables a very, very important part of decision making, sustainable growth, and resilience. That means to stand your ground in the dynamic markets. When things are changing, you stand your ground, you're able to absorb changes. Strategic management, importance. But everything has goods and bads. What are the bads of strategic management? The bads are also very, very interesting bads. Okay. Number one, it's complex and turbulent environment. How many strategies will you make? How many strategies will you make, boss? Okay. Now, the drawback of strategic management, some people argue, is how much planning is too much planning. Okay. How much planning is too much planning? Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. So strategic management's limitation is there is a limit to creating plan A, B, C, D, E, F. It's just too much planning, right? It is just too much planning because the environment is very complex and turbulent. How many times will you change? That's a limitation of strategic management, which is an interesting one. You will have to change every single time, but then the business asks, how many times do I change, man? I'm already tired, right? That's a limitation. Number two, it is time consuming process. You start from the scratch. Analysis one, analysis two, analysis three, analysis four. Basis the analysis, there's a trend. Basis the trend, you decide on plan A and plan B, and then you go and implement, and then you evaluate if it's working good, if it's not working, you go back to step one. It is time consuming. Businesses today do not have time. They're like, I want to release a product in the next 10 days, otherwise I lose it. Otherwise I lose the market. Remember 10-minute delivery, right? We all have gone through that phase. I don't think anybody is now interested in 10 minutes delivery. I don't see so much advertisement around it. What do you think about it? One company said 10-minute delivery. Next day, newspaper, another company said 10-minute delivery. We also do. I also do 10-minute delivery. Next day, another company says, oh, these two are doing, I also do 10-minute delivery. I am not behind. I am also doing 10-minute delivery. Third, fourth company came, they say, oh, everybody's doing, I also do 10-minute delivery. Right? Now, what this means is people are taking decisions very quickly. You got to take decisions so fast, but strategic management is a time consuming process. How do I take decisions now? How do I be partly reactive? Because if I do not do that so quickly, my business will be lost in this age of internet speed. What do I do? This is a limitation of strategic management. It is time consuming. You might lose the opportunity while you're thinking and planning and analyzing while others are taking actions. So you might just lose the opportunity. That's a limitation. Number three, costly process. Thinking is always a costly process, right? Thinking is always, because you need people who can think, and people who can think are really expensive. So I'm just giving you a tip. If in your career you can be somebody who can think, you can make massive money, even in job or in a career in an MNC. People who think, people who take decisions are really expensive people. And it's a costly process because once those people build a strategy, you got to pay, like you got to flow it down the organization, and it is costly. Some people will say, this means more work. I need a higher promotion. I need more salary. Some might say this might need more space. Some might say, I don't know, you got to manufacture two more products, then build a new factory. Your strategy, somebody sitting in the corporate and say, oh, wow, this is new trend. Let's start making this as well. The operational people will say, like, okay, we got to make this, but we need one new factory. We will need 100 trucks. We will need 700 tons of cloth. There's XYZ. That's money, boss. So it's a costly process. Number four, difficult to estimate competitors' response. You can be the smartest guy in the market, but there will always be somebody who is smarter. Okay. You can be the smartest one, but there's always somebody who is smarter. And that's what happens in business as well. So it's very difficult to estimate the competitor's response to what you are doing. And it can just change your strategy altogether. So people argue, then why do strategic management if your competitor, you don't know what the competitor will react and they can do something better than you? That's a counter. And people who think it is important say, then that means you're very scared and you shouldn't do business. You're not a risk-taking individual or an organization per se. It is difficult to estimate, but it is not impossible to overcome. It is difficult to estimate, but not impossible to overcome. But still, it's a limitation because you don't know how the competitor will react. So that's a limitation. Okay. Time consuming and costly process are interrelated. Mostly, yes. Most of them are together interrelated only, right? Like Geo came in telecommunication market. Absolutely, yes. Airtel was doing fantastic. Geo came, ruined their strategy. Now everybody has two SIMs. Interestingly, if you see everybody's phone has, let's say your friend's name is Himanshu, Himanshu Jio, Himanshu Airtel, or just Himanshu. So everybody has now two SIMs, one Jio, one another. And the name they're saving is Himanshu Jio, this Jio, Preeti Jio, XY Soumya Jio, or we have Tejas Jio, right? That's how you don't know how the competitor will react and how people customers will react to their strategy. You never know. That's a limitation. How do we estimate competitors' response if we want to? Strategic choices, Avni. You got to stay with me till chapter number 4 with patience, and all your answers will be answered in chapter number 4. How do you estimate competitors' response? Strategic choices will give you those tools. We have those matrices in chapter number 4, which will tell you how do we do that. Okay, so wait for those to come. Okay, let's go to our next topic, which is strategic intent. Okay, strategic intent. What is strategic intent? Let me put it, let's just not understand strategic intent. Let's say what is intent altogether? What is intent altogether? What is strategic intent? Or what is intent? Tell me what is intent. Give me examples maybe of intent as well. If you do not want to give a definition, just tell me an example of what is intent. Intent comes from the word intention, right? That's right, Priyanka. Why should we do it? Purpose of doing something, right? Purpose of doing business. Why do you want to do business is intent. What we want to do and how to do that. That is vision and mission. What is intent? We need intention first, right, Manish? Purpose. Sweetie, Swati, Tejas, purpose. What a company wants to do. But the importance of corporate defense mechanism overrides time consuming. Absolutely, yes, Swati. It's like more importance, less limitations. So you're right. Doing something for personal or social welfare, not necessarily, but okay, I understand what you're saying. There are no goals without purpose, right? Absolutely. Now let me take you a step down to yourself. What is your intent of studying this, or why are you doing chartered accountancy? Let me put it very simply for you. Your vision is to become a chartered accountant. Okay, let me break it down for you. Your vision is to become a chartered accountant. It's your dream. This is where you want to be. Why do you want to be a chartered? Why not a doctor? Why not a lawyer? Why not an IAS officer? Why not a graphic designer? Why not an artist? Why not somebody as a singer, a professional cricketer? Why are you doing chartered accountancy? What is your intention behind chartered accountancy? What is the intent, motive, right? To make money. Absolutely. That's very good. You got to be honest with yourself to earn more money, right? But again, let me counter you guys with other professions are making equally good money. Some professions are even making better money. Then money cannot be the only intent. Money cannot be the only intent because you can make money anywhere. Somebody who's not even studying makes more money, to be honest, because they have more risk appetite. Most of the business people are not even formally educated. Then money cannot be an intent of chartered account. It's an outcome. Intent क्या है? Why do you want to be? Why are you doing this? Being honest for money. You're right. My only point is in every profession makes money. Who says doctors don't make money? IAS don't make money or actors don't make money. Everybody makes money. Money cannot be the intent behind doing something. It can be an outcome. It cannot be an intent because everywhere you will make money. CA नहीं करोगे कोई business करोगे you will still make money. So why are you doing CA? To have more reputation. Doctors have more reputation. Lawyers have equally good reputation. Why CA? The professional quality it carries. Okay, maybe a personal choice of I feel proud about it, right? We are less and opportunities are more for us. Wow. You think so, Priyanka? Sorry to burst your bubble. This is India. Everything is competitive. Okay, you might feel that we have less competition. Welcome to India. Everything is highly competitive. Feeling happy to do this, Preeti, right? That's a good point. To become financially successful with less risk and expenditure now. This is where Avni is hitting the point. Most of us are doing chartered accountancy. Our intent is to one, it's a less risky profession, which means even if I do not get a job, I can do my practice. Let's be honest with ourselves, right? The intent is it's highly respected in the society. Our parents feel extremely proud telling their kids are chartered accountants. In an India society context, it brings a lot of respect from the society. Number three, it's not very costly relatively to other courses in the market, right? So your financial mind says it's my intention is to do a course which gives me more return with less expenditure, right? That's your intent. Respect, financially more sound as a course, and it gives a lot of social security. That's your intent behind doing a course. That's the same what businesses also do. When you start a business, you have an intent which defines all your goals and dreams. Your intent will define all your goals and vision and dream and mission, right? Intent hona chahiye. Intent is to do this because it makes sense. I want to be a business in helping people. I want to make money. I want to be profitable. I don't want to be a charitable trust. But my business has to be something which helps people. Okay. Let's understand this. When we always confuse if my business is for helping people, then I will not make money. Who said that? Your intent can be to bring something new to the customer, which is really helpful, but you still make money. My friend, Gmail is free. Look at the intent. Google, YouTube is free. Gmail is free. Everything you're using Zoom for free. The companies, how are these companies so rich when they're giving all the products for free? The intent is, the intent of the business is to bring something new in technology for the world. We will figure out how to make money. That's a separate job. But the intention of the business is to be new, to bring, to advance humankind, right? I just don't want to do the old trading of clothes and shoes and leather and food. No, I want to bring something new to this world, to this ball of water called Earth. I want to bring something new in technology, in innovation, in medicine. That's the intent of the business. How you make money around it is something different. So you got to understand the intent. Once you have the intent, you have a vision. Okay. Now, your intent is to become to be a chartered accountant because it becomes risk. It gets you social security. Your parents are proud. Your family are proud. You can go with a lot of confidence into family celebrations. All of this is an overarching thing around your vision and mission, right? It defines your overarching, which means your life, all decisions are around this broad idea that if I do this, this will happen with me, right? But how do I do this is something which gets a layer deeper, right? You want to be a chartered accountant for this. But number two, I want to be a chartered accountant with rank. That's a vision. Now that's a dream within an overarching intent. My vision is to be a rank holder. That's my dream. That's where I want to be within this course, right? As a student, you want to rank. That's your vision. How do you do that is your mission. How do you do that is your mission. And to complete that mission, you're making small goals and objective. You're making small goals. In 15 days, I will complete this subject. In next 15 days, I will complete that subject. That are your goals. And your objectives are today, I'm going to complete 5 chapters. That is your objective of the day, which you can measure that I have to complete 5 chapters today. That's my objective. My goal is to complete the syllabus in 15 days. My mission is that I'm structured. This is my mission, which under has goals and objectives. How do I do it is my mission. What I want is I want a rank. That's my vision. Why am I doing all of this? But why am I doing all of this mehnat? Is my intent of becoming a chartered accountant. Same thing happens with a business. They have an intent, then they have a dream where they want to be. I want to be 100 crore business in 2 years. I want to be a 500 crore business, or I want to touch 1 crore customers in 2 years. I want to impact the lives of 5,000 people in the next 6 months. Those are kind of visions. How do I do that is my mission. For that, I create goals. For that, I create smaller objectives. I complete those small objectives to complete my goal. Then once I complete my goal, my mission is complete. When my mission is complete, I am on track to my vision. And once I am reaching my vision, that means I'm a successful business. Okay. Super. What is your vision after becoming a CA? That's an interesting question. I'm still finding it out. I myself don't know. I'm lost. What do I want to do after? Like I've become now. What do I want to do? I'm lost, and that's fine, and that's okay. You do not necessarily have to have a vision, but you got to have an intent. Okay, the intent is to be a nice person and not do bad things to make money. That's my intent. Cool. I hope you understand the broad concept of vision, mission, objectives, goals, and everything, right? Thumbs up, okay, emoji, anything works, so that I know we can move to the next topic. If you have any questions, happy to take on the chat for now. Last 30 minutes, like we have 45 minutes more, we'll complete most of the context, and then you can have a lot of questions and everything, right? Cool. Thanks for clear and thumbs up. Thanks for being so interactive. Awesome. Let's go to the next one. Very quickly, now you know what is everything. So next few slides, we're going to go very fast. Okay. These are just examples. So read through the examples carefully. Anyway, these PPTs will be uploaded for you to consume as well. But now you understand intent. What is intent? So example, let me take an Indian example. Rest you can study when you revise this. So let's take the example of Zomato. So Zomato aims for global market leadership through diversification, technology innovation, customer focus, and strategic partnership while prioritizing sustainability. Nowhere, nowhere have they written food delivery. Interesting है. Interesting है. Zomato does food delivery, but their intent has food delivery nowhere. Intent में food delivery ही नहीं है. While their core business is food delivery, their intent is not to do food delivery. That's what I'm saying. The intention is not to deliver food. That's a way to make money. The intention is to diversify with technological innovation. bringing something new for the customer through technology, a new service, a new way of doing things, new customer focus, strategic partnerships around the globe, around the country. That is what the intent is. The intent is not, the intent is not to deliver food somehow, while what they do is only deliver food. Interesting, right? That is what intent is. Let's go to the next one and see what are some examples of vision statement, right? Vision kya hota hai? What is the dream? Tata, Infosys, Reliance. Let's take an example of Infosys here. You can read it anyway. It's on the screen as well. Infosys, the vision of Infosys, vision, not intent. Vision to be a globally respected corporation that provides best of breed business solutions leveraging technology delivered by best in class people. Now they're starting telling in their vision what they do. Read it very carefully. Intent did not tell you what the business does. Vision starts telling you what the business does, providing best in class business solutions by the best in class people. Okay. Infosys gives you business solutions, right? Now, vision starts telling you what the business does, where it wants to be, right? Intent is not telling you what the business does. Intent is telling you what the business feels, why they want to do this business, why they want to be in a business is intent. Now, let's go to mission. Mission is how do you achieve it, right? How do you achieve it? Let's take the mission statement of Titan Company to serve the customers with innovative and trustworthy products and services while fostering an environment of continuous learning and improvement em- for employees and delivering superior value to shareholders. Very nice. They are very clearly telling you the vision of Titan is to be the best company which provides the best solution or products to its customers, providing the best products to its customers and giving the best customer service. How? My question is, how will Titan do it? Titan tells me how they will do it through their mission statement. They say, I will be the best company for my customers because I will serve them with innovative and trustworthy products and services, and I will give them an environment of continuous learning and improvement for my employees so that they innovate and bring that feel of the company to the customer and thus delivering superior value to the shareholders, right? That's what Titan Company's mission is. Absolutely. Unnigishan, fantastic. Okay, I'll come to that very quickly. That's a homework. I also give homework as well. I am here to give you concepts, and intentionally, I did not put the same company's intent, vision, mission together here, right? But you will see that in the booklet as well. Okay. But my point is, you need to understand the concept here. We have more sessions as well. Okay. When you say now your homework after this, don't go and Google right now. Okay. After this class, read the intent, vision, mission, goals, and objectives of one single company, and then you will break it down. That's your homework, sir. Right? We are not doing spoon feeding here. You got to go back, revise, and come back prepared for the next sessions. So thank you for raising it up. I had to do this after this, but good that you have it here. Okay. Now let's go to the goals and objectives of some Indian brands. Latest, like let's take example of Flipkart. Flipkart, the goal is to become India's leading e-commerce platform. And the objective is increase market share by 20%. Increase market share by 20% within the next fiscal year through aggressive marketing campaigns. Objective number two is to improve customer satisfaction rating by 15%. They are measuring their success. They are measuring their way to become India's leading e-commerce platform. How will you know you are becoming India's leading platform? You will never come to know. You will only dream about it unless you track your objectives, which are measurable. Okay. And that's what objectives do for a business, right? Now, intent, vision, mission, goals, and objectives. Now, there's an interesting concept which is around the intent as well. A thing which is broader than the intent as well. Something which stays with the organization, something which stays with the management. It's called values. It's called values. People who understand Hindi, sanskar, the value system of your house, the values of the parents, the values of your house, your society. Those values are also for businesses as well. Okay. Those values are for business as well. Without taking any names, today, if I call any Indian brand, your mind will tell you, oh, this is a fraud brand. Oh, these people are just money making scoundrels. Like these people are just there to make money. And if I give you another brand name, you will feel like, oh no, these are good people. Like these are good people. They do business. They do really good business with all fair means, right? They're not here to scam people. How do you do that? How do you know about those people that they will not scam you? Or how do you know these people will scam you? Because their value systems talk about that. Their intent, vision, mission, objective goals can be absolutely on point and fantastic, right? Somebody who has very loose values can still be successful, but the values are loose, right? They're not very good. People don't like them, but they can be successful because they are working on their goals and objectives. Even if the goal and objective is to scam people, if you're doing it skillfully, you will be successful. But in the long range, in the long term, what matters the most are the values. Your business duration, the life of your business will depend upon your values of the business. You can be absolutely fantastic if you achieve your vision, mission, intent, goals, and objectives. But if your values are not strong, the business will close down very quickly. So values are very important and they are the broadest concept in strategic management, vision, mission. It is the biggest bubble around all the decisions you take. Okay, let me give you an example very quickly and then we understand what is value. I am a company. I'm a very big company. Okay, I'm a very, very big company of making soft drinks. I make soft drinks and I am $1 billion company. There is a new brand, somebody from, let's say, someplace in Assam, okay, someplace in Assam, Dispur. Let's take example of Dispur. Now, in Assam, some few business people came together and they started a new soft drink company from Assam, okay. I, as a company, got to know, okay, they're doing really good in Northeast and now they're coming to the northern part of India and they're exporting it to Malaysia and Singapore. They're exporting to Southeast Asia as well. And they're doing good business. I, as a very big brand, can do two things. I can go and just disrupt their business through my network. I can just go and tell my distributors, boss, if you buy their product, if you sell their product, I am not going to sell my product to you. I will find a new distributor and I give you thousands of crores of business. So you better stop doing business with these new guys. Okay. And I disrupt their business. That's one. Or what I can do is I can approach these people and say, hey, you guys are doing great business. I feel that our business has great synergy with you. Would you mind if we get into a partnership wherein I buy out majority stake in you? You make good money and we take this new, we like the brand, we like your product. let that product be part of our portfolio, and then we take it not just to Southeast Asia, but to further to Japan, Korea, to US, and to Mexico and all these countries as well. Why don't we do it together? Because it's a great product. Now, these are two ways of doing business. Okay. Both can be successful. If you kill your business with your network, you will be a successful brand. Nobody would ever know. Or you buy those company out. It's a good product. People still like buying that. You can still be successful buying that product or that company as well. You decide. And when I say you, it means your value system. That is the value system of a company. That's a value system of an organization, which creates the entire environment of the organization. Okay. Understood? Thumbs up, okay, smiley, whatever you want to throw in, throw in. And while you throw in an okay or something, I see some questions as well. Let me answer that is, while you see at the screen, take a glance at the screen, and this is what we have just studied. Take a glance, go through this, what is on your screen, right? This is what we have just covered. Vision, success, mission, way to succeed, intent, the surrounding environment to succeed. Am I right? Mostly yes, Swati. In most sense, yes. What if a company breaches their values? Will they be liable or penalized? Not necessarily, but customers are not fools. Okay, Abni, always remember, in the age of social media, in the age of internet, you cannot make fool of people for a long period of time. So even if they do not get penalized or liable legally, customers will stop buying the product, and which is the biggest punishment, right? Your business will die. What more punishment would you have? Intent, why do, purpose, vision, what to do, how to do, just do the right thing in the right way. Super. That's a good one, Priyanka. Just like Unilever Limited, somehow. Cool. Vision statement and mission statement of company seen, but strategic intent not seen. Where you'll have to Google it, Unikrishnan. That's what I said. You're Googling it right now. I said don't Google it right now. Are goals and objectives the same? Very good, Soumya. Are goals and objectives the same? Let's study that. Okay, strategic intent, we are already covered. You can go and revise that. Vision, mission, goals, and objectives. I've just explained it, everything. It's there in the PPT as well. When you revise, go and read it for officially the language, how you can write it, but you understand the concept now. Okay. Okay. Strategic intent, organization with no real intent cannot, and values, again, this is value. Values can never be compromised for convenience. If even if it's simple and it's wrong, don't do it. If it's difficult but it's the right thing to do it. If it's simple and not the right thing to do it, don't do it. Easier said than done, right? It's easy to give gyan, but that's what in the long term helps for the business and for personal lives as well. Okay. Now, to the question, are goals and objectives the same? The answer is a big no. Goals are broader objectives, or let me put it this way, goals are broader achievement targets. Okay. Goals are broad achievement targets. Objectives are meaningful, smaller, meaningful metrics to to figure out that you're achieving your goal, right? My goal is to lose 10 kgs. Understand this, Soumya. My goal is to lose 10 kgs. My objective is I go to the gym every single day and I keep tracking. Am I going to the gym every day? I go to the calendar and say, yes, I went today. Yes, I went today. After 2 years, after 2 years, I sit and think, oh my God, I've not lost 10 kg. I've gained 1 kg. How is that possible? I was going to the gym. You look at the calendar and you say, boss, out of 365 days, you just went to the gym for 65 days. And you're saying my goal is not achieved because you were not achieving your objective. Objectives lead to goals, right? They're bigger targets. Absolutely. Objectives are big targets. Goals are big targets. Objectives are the smaller targets to achieve those goals. Now, on your screen, what you see is objectives should be meaningful to serve an intended role must possess the following characteristics. Objectives should have these characteristics. One, should define the organization's relationship with its environment, should facilitate towards achievement of mission and purpose, basic a basis of strategic decision making, right? Should provide standard of performance appraisal so that you can measure your success, should be concrete and specific. This date, this time, this is what I do. It should be specific and concrete. It should be related to a time frame in the next 2 days, in the next 2 months, in the next 1 year. This is what I'm going to do. It should be related to a time frame, should be measurable and controllable. 15%, 5 days, 3 months, right? 50 customers, 5,000 customers, 5 lakh rupees, could be anything. And that should be measurable and controllable. Should be challenging. Easy objectives का कोई मजा नहीं है. There's no fun in easy objectives. They should be challenging, right? Different objectives should correlate with each other. It should correlate with each other. They should not be in isolation. That I will go to the gym, but I will also eat 20 chole bhature. Doesn't make sense. The objective should correlate with each other, right? Objectives should be set within the constraint of organizational resources and external environment, which means, right, you have 10 lakh rupees and your objective cannot be to spend 50 lakh rupees. It should be set within the constraints of the organizational resources. You have 10 days left for revision and you're saying, okay, I will do one subject in 4 days. And you have 6 subjects to study. So can you do it in 10 days? Not possible. So your objectives should be set within the constraints of the resources, the time, the money, the people you have. Otherwise, they are pointless. Okay? That is what objectives should be like. And there are certain objectives which are long-term objectives like profitability, productivity of the company, competitive position of the company, employee development, employee happiness, employee relations, public responsibility. All of these are long-term objectives. In the long term, business has to achieve that. Business should achieve these as well. These are long-term objectives. Okay. In the long term, they got to achieve these things irrespective. Cool. Great. Values again, like we studied, integrity. These are the value systems that this business is really has an integrity, has a position, has what it says, it does what it says. It takes care of the people. It is environment friendly. It takes care of the customers, listens to the customers, listens to the government, is compliant with the government policies. The values are very strong. Okay. Coming to the next topic, after vision, mission, strategy, and all of that, what we have now is strategic levels in an organization. We started the chapter with this, okay? I will not spend much time on this slide, but I will spend time on the next slide. Corporate, business, functional. You guys know it very well, okay? You guys know it very well. Corporate, business, and functional. Decisions are made here. Resource allocation and planning is done here. Real action happens at the functional level. 3 levels in an organization. Very, very straightforward, and all of you know it. We started the chapter with this. But there is something very interesting called strategic business units. Okay. Do not look at the screen. Listen to what I'm saying now. Okay. Let me explain strategic business units within 2 minutes. Within 2 minutes, you will remember it for life. Okay. You are a business owner. You are a business owner who is taking care of the family business. Your family business is making ornaments, jewelry. Okay. Let's say your family business is making jewelry. Listen to me very carefully. Your family business is manufacturing jewelry. Okay. Jewelry, what you say. Okay. Jewelry. Now, what you're doing is you as a new person into the family business want to start a new segment within the business, which is luxury watches. You say, okay, my parents, my family, my grandparents were doing all these chains and bracelets and rings and pendants and earrings. Fantastic. Great business. Let me add a segment of luxury watches as well. Okay. Now you are a new guy, a new girl into the business, and you want to do this. Now, once you get into the business, you figure out that maybe the kind of idea, the strategy, the resources, the raw material, the customers are very different. My customers are very different. My raw material is going to be different. My design, my marketing strategy is going to be really different for the watches business in relation to my existing business of jewelry. But that's part of the same group. I'm the part of the same business, but the strategy for this particular thing has to be very different. Jewelry is bought by majority of women and in the ages of 30, 35 plus. Young girls and boys are not wearing so much jewelry like sets and ornaments. They like smaller jewelry, right? The market for my jewelry family business is 35, 40 plus men, women who have money investing, or people who are getting married, they want to buy some stuff one time for their life. That is the market. But for the luxury watches segment, my market is absolutely different. These are ultra rich, very rich people, young boys and girls, young or very, very rich, affluent people like politicians or entrepreneurs or business people who want to flaunt a gold diamond watch, a platinum watch, or XYZ, which is Indian homemade, desi luxury watch. That's the different market. The market is different. The designs are going to be different. The people I will need to do this business are going to be different, but I still am part of my family business. What do I do? How do I manage this business? You tell me, how would you manage this business who wants to continue doing the family business, but add in a segment of luxury watches where your customers are different, your marketing strategy is different, your customer preference, your raw material, your designing team, your manufacturing space is going to be different, but you're still part of the family business as a new segment. What will you do is the question. How will you solve this problem for your business? The chat is open. What would you do? R&D, okay? Shift the business online to capture right market, okay? What else? What will you do? How do you solve this problem for yourself? R&D करेंगे, okay? Advertising, very nice. You have to create separate team for doing all this. That's right. That's what I told you. New designers, new people, new marketing, new customers, everything is different, yet part of the main business because we're still making things of gold and silver. We're still into jewelry and all these special stones or precious stones, but that's a different segment, right? Making charges some of all type of jewelry, making charges same for all type of jewelry. Why? Wow, Aarti is all about jewelry. Aarti thinks, I think she's just bought new jewelry, so she knows making charges are painful 25, 30%. Very nice. Priyanka says, first go and take permission from your parents. Thank you. Employ more distributors. Okay. You guys are thinking very operationally. I want you to think strategically. Okay. What you're saying is absolutely right. But you guys are thinking operationally. Think like a strategist. How do I solve this problem? Indulging, analyzing dynamic environment, promotion and marketing. You got to do everything. You're right. But all of this is operational. You're thinking like a functional level employee. Think like a corporate level. What would you do as a strategy? Stop thinking like execution. Start thinking like consultants. Start thinking like what do I how do I build this business out of my existing business? Having recognition from a well-known brand or all of this is promotion and marketing. That's a separate thing altogether. Using advantage of jewelry business and make gold and platinum watch. Again, promotional stuff. Let me tell you the idea here. Okay. Let me tell you the idea here. Absolutely. Now I see answers. Now you're thinking like a strategist. Create a separate business unit first. Do not confuse the customer. Do not confuse your employee. Do not confuse your manufacturing plant. Do not confuse yourself as a business that you are doing so many things and you are not clear. If today your family business is jewelry, you add luxury watches, the customer is confused. Are they a luxury watch brand now or are they a jewelry brand now? Should I buy jewelry for them? This new kid who has come into the business thinks he or she wants to do new age luxury business only for the rich people. Then what are the middle class people going to do? This They would start going away from your brand, which is existing family business. How do you protect yourself? What you do is you create a strategic business unit within your existing business, which operates separately, right? What it helps you to do is it does not confuse yourself, the strategy of marketing, the strategy of human resources, this strategy, that strategy. You are not confused as a business. Ki whether I look at the jewelry thing, whether I look at the luxury watch thing, whether I do this, whether I do that, whether I do both, how do I combine both? You don't have to combine both, my friend. Create a separate strategic business unit which has its own set of customers, own strategy, own team, its own CEO, which is you, its own HR team, own finance team, own manufacturing plant. It is a separate business altogether strategically, but part of the overall business. It still remains Kumar and Sons Jewelers, but you call your brand as, let's say, a Luxottica. Luxottica watches from the house of Kumar Jewelers, right? Now, Luxottica becomes a brand which is operated in isolation separately. People are not confused now. People are saying, okay, Kumar and Sons is jewelers, but they now have a separate brand which is luxury watches. If you want to go and buy those watches, you buy there. Otherwise, you're happy here, right? Strategic business unit. If you have a separate customer, if you have a separate product, and you're part of the same business, you create a strategic business unit so that you do not confuse your strategies, your marketing, your promotion, your resources, your money, your people, your employees, your customers. Nobody's confused with strategic business unit. Otherwise, people are confused, right? Surf Excel, Vim, right? All these are soaps, washing powder made by the same company. ITC, Tata, absolutely. These are strategic business units. Sunsilk. Sunsilk is from HUL, I guess, right? HUL has created strategic business units. PNG has created strategic business units. Tata has created strategic business units. Reliance has created strategic business. Reliance Group owns Geo, owns Petroleum, owns Reliance Media, Viacom 18. All these are strategic business units. Now, if I am as a customer of Geo, I am not confused with what is happening with Reliance Trends and Azorte and Agio. I don't care. As a customer, I am not confused. Is Reliance cloth company or is Reliance telecommunication company? Why you and me as customers are not confused? Because they have created a strategic business unit for Geo. For clothing, we have Agio and Azorte, Reliance Trends, Reliance Retail. They have created separate businesses within Reliance Group. These are strategic business units so that the customer is not confused. Am I going to a kapde ki dukaan to buy jute? Or am I going to kapde ki dukaan to buy a SIM card? No, I'm not going to a kapda seller, a cloth seller to buy a SIM card. I'm going to Geo, which is a telecom company, to buy a SIM card. I'm not confused. The company is not confused because it's strategic business unit within the same group of business called Reliance. That is strategic business unit. Okay. Holding and subsidiary relation between different products, not necessarily, but yes. Holding and subsidiary is more of a legal accounting structure. When we are creating strategy, when you're studying strategic management, we generally do not refer to holding, subsidiary, wholly owned, partially owned. No. Think from strategy that within the group of business, there is a strategic business unit which has separate customers, separate strategy to work on. That is strategic business unit. How to let customer know that we have created a new SBU through advertising? Absolutely yes. Promotion, advertising, mouth publicity, awareness campaigns, all of this. That is strategic. That is how you tell customers that we are not a telecom company. So Ajio doesn't have to go and shout to people that Jio ke aage A laga diya, so now we are a clothing company. We are a fashion company. People know it already, right? That Jio ke aage A lag diya, so there's Ajio, so it's a retail company. You're not even confused in your mind. Jio, Ajio, the same name, right? But you're not confused. Strategic business unit. Okay. Some examples on your screen like Mahindra Group, like Mahindra Automotive, Mahindra Finance, Mahindra Sustain. For ITC Foods, ITC Hotels, ITC Paperboards and Specialty Paper Division, ITC Cigarettes. All of these are strategic business units, and you're not confused. If you go to ITC Sonar Bangla in Kolkata, if you go to ITC Maurya in Delhi, you go to ITC Grand in Mumbai, does your mind ever think this is the same company which makes cigarettes? This is the same company which makes the classmate registers. No, it doesn't. Because they have created in the mind of the customer a strategic business unit which operates very differently, which operates very differently. Different strategy, different market, different, everything is different. But it's part of the ITC group. That is strategic business unit. Okay, very nice. The last topic for us to understand here is network relationship between the three levels of the organization. Functional people, right? The business people and the corporate people. How are they together intertwined in an organization? Functional and divisional relationship, how does that happen? Number one, it is independent relationship, where each function or division is run independently, headed by the function or division head, who is a business level manager, reporting directly to the business head, who is a organization where it has a strategic business unit. How are different divisions working? They're working independently. The Geo Finance has to nothing, the finance team of Geo has nothing to do with the finance team of Reliance Petroleum. They're working independently, right? Functions like finance, HR, marketing may depend on products, like for a toy manufacturer like Kids Toy, Signature, etc. But they will be divisions, which means the source of the company will be the same, Reliance Group. But within their company, they are least bothered about what's happening in a different segment because they are working in isolation. They're working in isolation. But companies which do not create such a structure, which have a horizontal relationship, right? Now, all positions from top management to staff level employees are in the same hierarchical positions. Some organizations, specifically startups. Now, think about this. We are talking about the relationship of three levels, how the dynamics are changing, how the markets are changing. The first one we were talking about was something which is like coming from ages, like corporate, how it has been, right? We have a division, we have finance department, HR department. They are working in isolation for a division. They're not bothered about what's happening somewhere else. But today, where in the need of technology in the world of startups, what is happening is the need to share ideas with speed is more desirable. An idea can come from anybody in the organization. An idea can come from anybody in the organization, and startups don't want to lose that opportunity. So what they're doing is they're creating a horizontal relationship. All positions from top management, all positions from top management till the bottommost are almost flat. This person who has just joined the organization can directly talk to the CEO that, hi, my name is this, I had this idea, maybe we should do this like this. A horizontal organization. But in big organizations, some people or majority of people might never even talk to the CEO in their entire life. I know people who have spent 25 years in the organization, never talked, never been able to reach out or ever have one single chat with the CEO or the CFO. Those organizations are also there. Most of the old or probably the big organizations operate that way. But new age startup organizations, it's a horizontal relationship where free flow of ideas happen. And another interesting one is called matrix relationship. What happens in a matrix relationship? Okay. It's a grid-like structure in the organization where everybody knows what's happening everywhere. Okay. Now, think about this. A finance department cuts across different divisions. Let's say I have different strategic business units and there is a common finance department. It's a matrix. So a finance department cuts across different businesses. This is one, two, and three. A finance team works for all the three. Same finance team. It's a matrix structure. Now, this finance team knows what is happening in different segments. It's easy for them to compare which segment is doing better, which is not doing better, and take quicker decisions with the management. Okay. Now, this is where things start getting interesting in a matrix structure. It features a grid-like structure level in organization, with teams formed with people from various departments that are built for temporary task-based projects. Now, this team, different segments, you're experimenting with your business, and these teams are working for you constantly. That's a matrix structure. Okay. It is complex for a smaller organization, but extremely useful for large organizations. Okay. Now, HUL wants to introduce a new brand. They will not just disrupt their entire business, they will just add one more matrix, and the same finance team works for that matrix as well. So this finance team, one, two, three, they want to add two more businesses, one more added, one more added. The same team keeps working. For bigger organizations, it's easy. For smaller, it's very costly. They're like, these many experiments small companies cannot do. The big ones can do, and it's really, really useful for them. Okay, great. Is this clear? I'll take a pause of a minute here. And is this clear? Awesome. I see a thumbs up. I want to see at least 7 8 thumbs up or yeses before I go and wrap it up for you. Clear? Awesome. Thank you. Thumbs ups and yeses really help clarify that we are on the right track. Thanks, Ritu, Preeti, Avni, Yash, Priyanka. Thanks for giving a thumbs up. I have thumbs up from Swati, Tejas, and Krishnan as well. Awesome. Bhumika, cool, great. Okay. With that, our chapter number 1 is complete. Fantastic. On time. We still have 6 minutes. What we're going to do in 6 minutes is we will do some questions to revise what we have learned. Okay. There are going to be 3 questions for you, MCQ form. Read the question carefully and answer in the chat box. Read the question very carefully and give your answer in the chat box. So I'm sure after we do the questions, I'll explain you the matrix relationship again. But focus on the question now because I've already shown the questions I want you to answer. Hierarchical means step by step. There are levels. Hierarchical means levels. Okay. Read the question very carefully and answer. Okay. Rohani says C. What do others say? Priyanka says C. Pratima says C. Avni says C. Preeti also had said C. Shambhavi says C. Bhumika says C. Sumit says C. Okay. 10 more seconds. Swati, Revati both say C. 100% votes to C. Absolutely. The correct answer is also C, right? By providing autonomy for focused strategy execution and explanation as well. Right? The SBU grants each business an autonomy. That's what I was telling you right now. Good that you all understand that the answers are right. Very happy. Question number 2 on your screen, boys and girls. Read the question very, very carefully. Tejas and Swati have also given C for first. Time for question number 2 on your screens. Second A. Okay. Let's see what are people saying for the second question. Option A, Yash, Priyanka, Preeti A. Okay. Avni A. Ruhani says A. Mani says A. Priyanka says A. What about the BOS chat people? Shambhavi says A. Ritu says A. Seconds, guys, and then we move to the next one. Okay, Revati says A, Samya says A, very nice. The correct answer is option number A. Stakeholders may perceive an inconsistency which erodes your trust. Okay, when a company's vision and strategy intent are not aligned, stakeholders may perceive that you guys don't know what you're doing, and which creates mistrust or distrust amongst the company. And there's like, I don't want to buy products of this company. They're not very sure what they're doing. So I'm not very sure of the company as well, right? Option A is the right answer. Last question on your screens. Last question on your screen. And then we open up the Zoom for you guys to go live and ask questions and have a chat while we have our esteemed BOS faculties on the call as well to answer any of your queries along with me. Question 3 on the screen. Take your time, read the question carefully, and then add another. Swati says option number B for question number 3. Pratima says B, Manish says B, Avni says B, Rohani says B, Yash says B, Preeti says B. You guys are really smart, man. Shambhavi says B, Ritu, Preeti both have said B, Bhumika says B. Fantastic. Very happy to see the right answers. which means the concepts are clear, which means we are well prepared from a conceptual perspective for the examination. So you should be proud of yourself. You should feel happy about yourself that you know the stuff, you know chapter one, and that's going to help for you in the examinations as well. Okay, the answer is option number B. By facilitating effective communication and coordination between the levels, it helps implement, execute strategies very, very effectively. Right in time, it's 9 a.m. and I guess we are open to take up any questions that you have on Zoom. Happy to take any questions. Chapter number one is complete for us. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And it's your query time. For the next 30 minutes are all for your queries. And we'll try to solve all of those. So do not hesitate and ask. Awesome. Thank you so much, Preeti. That's really kind of you. My network is a bit low. After the class, you're telling me, Avni, my network is a bit low. You just completed the entire concept. It's already 9 a.m. So a lot of people have started using internet now. Mornings, Sundays, nobody was up. So people are not using internet. Now they're using internet. Sure. Okay. Good to see some questions. Let me start taking those questions. The first one we had promised to Soumya, then we come to the Zoom chat as well. Matrix relationship, Soumya, understand this like there are different segments of the business vertically, right? For example, HUL has Surf Excel, Sunsilk, Soap, Wimbar, and there are certain departments like finance, HR, marketing, production, and admin, right? So it's a matrix. The lines are vertical. Think about this. These are vertical lines of four businesses, four business segments, right? And there are common functions like finance, then there is HR, then there is admin, which are working for all the segments. What it's creating is a matrix. Look at this. It's created a matrix. Lines are crossing each other. This is what matrix relationship is what we are talking about. It's complex, but it's good for big companies. Okay. Awesome. Priyanka, you completed the syllabus from previous lectures. Very nice. We'll get connected often with the case-based questions. Super. We'll try to bring in as many case questions for you as well. The practice questions are new. I hope you answered those. And really, really happy that you completed your syllabus well in time. Answer writing format in exam should be very precise, okay? We see, if you go to suggested answers, if you look at past question papers or suggested answers from the institute, you would really figure out that the writing format in the exam has to be very neat and very well articulated. Stick to what is being asked in the question and make your answer in bullet form. Always break down your answer into paragraphs and bullets. Okay, that will really help you in exam. And only answer what is asked for. Do not give the examiner stories. If they're asking a particular topic, let's say Mendelow's matrix, or they're asking BCG matrix, don't tell them that you know Ansoff matrix, you know what is SWOT analysis, you know what is pestle analysis, and then you try to show them that you know a lot of stuff. Then they're like, you don't know a BCG matrix, maybe what is being asked. Okay, so keep your answer to the question itself. That's really important. And break down into paragraphs, use bullet points. It creates a very neat answers script, and examiners like checking those answer sheets. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Priyanka. Thank you for the wishes. Awesome. Thank you so much. Sure. You can go and watch that as well. How to frame intro in any question. Intro for any question would come from the question itself. For your answer, right, should come from the question itself. If a question is asking, What should be XYZ's decision, or how should the company do this? And the question starts with certain facts. Your answer should also start with those facts, right? From the above case, we understood that this XYZ is a company which is facing this problem. What concept they should use here is, let's say, a pestle analysis. While doing pestle analysis, they should focus on PESTLE, right? You give some explanation there, then you conclude your answer. Basis analysis of the problem using pestle analysis, the company should focus on, let's say, P, which is political, or E, which is environment, and they should do XYZ. So it's like the fact of the question, the concept used in the question, and then your conclusion. That will help you give a lot of bandwidth. It will help you structure your answer. You don't have to think of writing answer. You read a question, you know a format, you have a structure, you start writing it right away. Structure, structure, structure your answer, right? It saves time, it saves a lot of headspace. You don't have to be creative every time in the examination. Okay, understand while studying, but afterwards become confused between vision, mission, goal, and can you provide any memory technique? You don't need a memory technique. It's very simple, right? We just did that, Avni, today. Vision, where you want to be. Mission, how you want to do that. Goals and objectives, real action points. As simple as that. Just remember the story I gave you. Just remember the examples I gave you, and you will always remember that. Awesome. Good to know that, Soumya, that your energy is high to study on a Sunday. Nothing like it for a student. If you're happy to study on a Sunday, half of your problems are solved as a student. Does mission include PERT and CPM? Sorry, what do you mean by PERT and CPM? Maybe I am too old for these terms that I'm not able to grasp. Help me understand what you're referring to. PERT and CPM. Or maybe you watched a lot of Shark Tank. These are startup terms. Sorry, I'll wait for your chat. Wait, what do you mean by PERT and CPM so that I can help you with it? Program evaluation, review techniques, and critical path method. These wouldn't be part of your mission essentially. These are tools to probably achieve your goals and objectives, or per se mission in the long term, right? These are some tools which will help you achieve your mission, which it essentially is made out of goals and objectives. So these are tools, these are methods which will help. They're not part of the mission, but they are tools to achieve mission. Okay. Awesome. I see so many people in the call, no questions, everything is clear. If everything is clear, give us a thumbs up. Anything, if any of your queries are not resolved, go and ask your queries and ask a query on the portal. We'll be happy to answer that. The Board of Studies has robust place to go and answer your, go and like solve your queries. Ask a query is for you. Go and ask your queries. All the queries are resolved in this session. If anything be after the session, there's something that's confusing you, go and ask that there. We'll be happy to help you. Okay. SM is much related to day-to-day life. Absolutely, yes. Everything is a strategy. What to eat in the breakfast, whether you want to eat an upma or a dosa, is also a strategy. You got to bring stuff a day before. You got to start planning a day before, right? What is the weightage of this subject? Manish, why are you concerned about the weightage? If you like the subject, weightage doesn't matter, right? You got to anyway study everything unless you have no time. Unless you have no time, then weightage matters. But if you have ample time, you're revising it, then I think you shouldn't be concerned about weightage at all. You got to study everything. And if you're interested in this, then you should, and it's a fairly like I would say a chapter where probably you can learn a lot of stuff while on the go.
Hi, Ajit. Here I
Hello,
would
Risha
like
ma'am.
to share one thing. I think the student is asking for the weightage of subject,
Correct.
right? So he may be asking for the weightage of all the five chapters.
Okay.
So I would like to clarify over here for all the students that the weightage of all the chapters are equal. So there is no selective study. You have to ponder on all the chapters and give due weightage to all the concepts equally. There is no difference between that this particular concept or this particular chapter is of less weightage and some other is of high weightage. No, we have to study all the concepts, right? I think the student is asking this question. Am I correct?
Yes, that's right, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Any other
So
query? Friends are having any other query which I would like to address?
I think from a technical exam perspective, can you solve any descriptive? I think from a technical exam perspective, that was the one. Moreover, concepts, I'll take those.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, so I see a question. Can one business entity have many number of SBUs? Absolutely, yes. N number of SBUs. It really depends on how the business wants to strategize their business. There is no limit to the number of SBUs that an organization can have. Okay. Priyanka, I also thought I'll do the FM as well, right? But maybe soon. Awesome. Thanks, Manish. I hope the query is resolved. Can you solve one descriptive question in short? We can practice one. Maybe not today, but I'll plan to do that in the coming sessions. Point taken. We'll do that for sure, Yash. Okay. How do small companies do strategic management as it will costly for them? That's a limitation, Avni. You're absolutely right. The question is absolutely right. How can small companies do strategic management? Because it is very costly. And that is a limitation of strategic management, right? A small business would really not want to spend a lot of time, money, and people resources on strategic management. They will just go and do stuff. So, yes, it's very difficult for them. And that's a limitation of strategic management. Then, how can they grow? Okay, so strategic management is not the only way to grow, Avni, okay? Strategic management brings a lot of structure into your decision making, and that is why it is costly and time consuming. But it doesn't mean that if you do not have a structure, you will not grow. It will be difficult. It will be very difficult, but it doesn't mean you will never grow. There is something called as organic growth as well, right? Some businesses will grow organically. Some businesses will grow organically, which means there is an inherent demand in the market for a particular thing. So the business doesn't have to really strategize. Okay, the business really doesn't have to strategize for something. For example, okay, if Indian Railways is a monopoly. Companies which are monopoly really can grow organically because there is demand and they're the only one who are doing that business. Okay. So they would need less of strategy. They will need it. I'm not saying they will not need. They do it, they will be the best in the world, right? But even if they don't do it, they will still grow. So growth versus massive growth, that's what strategic management will bring in. It's not like they will not grow, but very difficult for them to grow. And that's why small businesses generally remain small, unless exceptions are always there. Strategic management is how you manage your business, how you manage your business plus how you strategize your business proactively, reactively, right? Both. Apple iPhone, slight innovation, more demand. That's their marketing expertise. They're the best in marketing, in creating in the minds of the customer the coolness of the product. They're the best at it. So that's what they're reaping benefits of. and which is true. They have done some fantastic strategic management there. They have done some very good strategic management as a company, and that's why they're getting those benefits. Great. We need more questions. We need more thoughtful questions, more questions that confuse you or you can think of. You still have 15 more minutes to go. Feel free to ask as many questions as you can. Ajio and Myntra are very competitive nowadays. They are bringing much bigger offers, advertisement or strategy. Advertisement is a very small part of strategy, Priyanka, okay? We always confuse promotion, advertisement, and marketing as strategy. They are part of strategy. Marketing strategy is a part of a broader strategy. It is not just advertisement, right? Strategy, like small part is marketing, and they're good at it. And marketing has advertisement, promotion, mouth publicity, social media, XY medias, everything. Okay. Is there any difference in the overall strategy in building a startup vis-a-vis running an established business? Absolutely different strategies. Nothing is same, sir. Nothing is same. Sorry. So big difference in running an established business versus a startup. The mindset is different, the speed is different, the way you operate is different, the kind of management you do is different, the reactiveness is different, the proactiveness is different, the amount of money you can spend is different, the resource allocation is different, the mindset of the people is different, the size of the organization is different, everything is different. Strategy is a significant element in our life. Absolutely, yes, it is. What is a corporate defense mechanism? Corporate defense mechanism is like, probably imagine this. A corporate defense mechanism is like a big mattress where if the strategy fails, you do not hit the ground. It's like a springboard, maybe not just a mattress. It's like a springboard. So if the strategy fails, you bounce back from it. It's a corporate defense mechanism. So it's helping you defeat the failures. That's called corporate defense mechanism. It's like a springboard. You fall, but you come back again. Great. Okay. Can there be internal competition? Absolutely, yes. Within employees, within SBUs as well, there can be competition. For example, IGO Finance Department versus Reliance Petroleum. No, no, no. Functions will never have such competition. But within SBUs, generally, if your strategy is not very nice, you can have competition, right? You can still have competition. Now think about, okay, I'll give you very interesting example here, Swati. Very good thing. Just think with me beyond this subject. As somebody, as people, as a group, we are studying strategy and business. Tata, okay, Tata has hotels, okay, Taj hotels, and Tata also has luxury cars, Range Rover, Land Rover, Jaguar, okay. Now these two companies are actually competing amongst themselves. Somebody would want to spend good amount of money on a luxury vacation in a Taj hotel, Taj resort, spending around 30, 40 lakh rupees, taking 15, 20 friends on a Taj resort vacation for 5, 7 days, and they're ready to spend 50, 60 lakh rupees. The same person can also spend 50, 60 lakh rupees buying a Range Rover, Land Rover, whatever it is, right? So within SBUs, within companies of the same group can also be a competition. They are fighting for the same customer money, right? Which is an interesting thing in businesses, right? And this can happen. And that's the beauty of business. That's the beauty of how operations happen, how organizations build businesses. That's called indirect competition. That's right. Absolutely, Priyanka. That's indirect competition. And that can happen between SBUs as well. Generally not. If your strategy is really good, you will not have competition between SBUs because you will define your SBU very smartly and scientifically. Generally, there will be no competition and never a competition between functional departments of different SBUs like finance, HR. They will not compete. They don't have to compete. It's more like an opportunity for them. You, you As a finance professional can go from one SBU to other SBU, that's an opportunity for you. Why will you compete with them? Okay, niche means very close. Niche means very personal, customized. Okay. What is turbulent? Soumya, easy, simple English word. You got to be learning English words as well. I'll tell you this, but start improving the vocabulary as well. Turbulent means chaotic, not very structured. Here and there, everything is fell. That is called turbulent. Like a tsunami or like a tornado, like a cyclone. That's turbulent. The weather is turbulent. There's chaos. Things are falling. Not nice. Not favorable. That is turbulent. What is the difference between goals and objectives? Yash, we just studied that. Goals are broader uh, achievement like targets. The broader targets are goals. Smaller execution targets are objectives. Okay. Very nice. We have 7 minutes more. If any questions, feel free to ask. Else, we can wrap up the session for today. We are well on time. I'll stay here for another 6 minutes. So you can just look at my face if you don't have any questions. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask. Yes, Priyanka. Why? Because we are doing more of a refresher session, right? We will be touching upon all the concepts, but because most of you have studied, right, already, the exams are near. So what we're doing is we are doing shorter number of sessions to help you guys resolve a lot of queries. That's why we have kept 30 minutes of queries only, so that any questions, concept that are confusing you, we can help you with it. All clear, Preeti? Good to know that. Go ahead, ask your questions. Do not hesitate. No question is a bad question. If you hesitant, like, what if I should ask or not, just go and ask. I have asked enough questions today. I don't have more questions to ask you guys. Can you give the gym example once more related to mission objective? Gym example. Which was gym example? Which one was the gym example? Ah, the 10 kg one. I'm saying, so 10 kg, losing your 10 kg weight is a goal. Going to the gym daily, eating the right diet is objective. Okay. The goal is a broader achievement where what you want to achieve. You say in 2 years, I want to lose 10 kgs. For that, every day you have to go to the gym, eat healthy food, not eat sugar, not eat ice creams. You don't have to feel sad about your life, buy an ice cream tub and eat it during the night. No, you don't have to do that. Those are your objectives. Smaller actions which create a broader impact in achieving your goals. Those are objectives. And the goal is a broader achievement, which is losing 10 kgs in 2 months or 2 years. What will be the time frame for objective depends on what you are doing. It really depends on the person who is creating the objectives. There is no set timeline. It can be 1 day, 2 days, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, कुछ भी हो सकता है. Top down approach and bottom approach. Shambhavi, top down is people at the top make decisions and then they flow it down to the lower levels. Bottoms up is people from the top come to the bottom and ask them what is happening, what are the problem areas, we want to solve them. The bottom people give them very big feedback, very interesting feedback, and basis that they start building strategy upwards. That is called bottoms up. Top down is people at the top build a strategy, tell the people at the bottom what is to be done. Bottoms up is people at the top come to the bottom people and ask, what are the problems you are facing? How can we solve them? And then they build a strategy upwards. That is bottoms up. Generally, bottoms up strategies are more successful because it involves a lot of customer feedback, employee feedback. So they are more robust as a strategy. Generally, no hard and fast rules, but generally they are better. The success rate is more in bottoms up. Okay, all clear, very enjoyable. Have a good day too. Thanks, Rega. Take care. And still here for another 2 minutes. If you guys are still shying away and asking questions, this is your time. Very few people left in the call. Now you can ask your questions. Thanks, Avani. Thank you so much. Thank you, Preeti. Have a nice day too. Okay, if there are no more questions, can we wrap up this session for today? And I see you next weekend with another yet important and lengthy chapter where we talk about external environment in depth and with a lot of examples and questions for you to solve as we go through the session. Thank you, Rihani. Really happy to know you liked it. See you next weekend as well. Thanks, Revati. Kishwati. Thank you, Rani. Thanks, Manish. Thank you so much. Really happy you liked it. All right, everyone. I'll see you next weekend with chapter number 2. It's already time, and thanks for being so interactive and so participative. I'll see you next week. Take care. Anji, yes, Ashokji. Thank you so much. Thank you.